Welcome to Rock Buzz. Fans of Fleetwood Mac are buzzing again, and this time it's not just another rumor. After years of silence, bitterness, and public fallout, Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham are suddenly talking, not through interviews or tabloids, but through lyrics. Stevie posted, "And if you go forward," and Lindsey replied, "I'll meet you there." They're quoting their own 1973 Buckingham Nicks album, the one that started it all, and the one that's never been officially released on streaming. But that's about to change. A new billboard spotted in Los Angeles confirms that the long-lost album is finally being reissued on CD and digital platforms, timed to Fleetwood Mac's 50th anniversary. The timing and the tone couldn't be more significant. These two haven't been aligned since Buckingham was abruptly fired from the band in 2018 after a long-running Cold War with Stevie boiled over. The exit ended in lawsuits, public digs, and Buckingham undergoing emergency heart surgery in the aftermath. There was no goodbye, no reconciliation, just silence. But before all that drama, and before rumors took over the world, there was Buckingham Nicks. Recorded in 1973, it was the album that caught Mick Fleetwood's attention and led to both of them being invited to join Fleetwood Mac.
A chance meeting with sound engineer Keith Olsen led to Mick hearing a recording by a then unknown couple, Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks.
Mick went into Sound City, into the recording studio where we all worked, where Keith Olsen worked. Keith Olsen played him a song off the Buckingham Nicks record.
About 2 weeks later, Bob Welch decided he was going to leave the group. And what had started out as basically Mick connecting with Keith Olsen to look for a studio, and Keith playing him a song of Stevie's in mind, just really to demonstrate his own skill and to demonstrate the sound of the studio, turned into a connection musically, which led to us being asked to join Fleetwood Mac.
By the end of '74, Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham were losing hope in their stalled music careers. Their first album together was a disappointment, and Polydor Records dropped them. Stevie told her parents she was coming home if she didn't make it in the next 6 months.
My mom and dad said, if you want to go back to school, we'll pay for it and we will basically support you. And I thought, well, hey, who am I to turn that down at this point,
2 months later, Stevie received a phone call that would forever change her life. It was Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac. After hearing a Buckingham Nicks demo, Mick invited Stevie and Lindsey to join his English blues band.
We oohed and awed and laughed and cried and said, we'll call you back. And I went out and bought all the Fleetwood Mac records, and I listened to them back to back. And I went to Lindsey and I said, I think it's worth it. I do. I think we can bring something to this band. I don't think we're going to lose ourselves. I think it's okay.
The record flopped at the time, but became a cult favorite, endlessly bootlegged and worshipped by fans who wanted to hear where the chemistry began. For decades, the album was locked away due to rights disputes, and more recently, lingering tension between the two artists. Stevie once mentioned that she didn't want it reissued unless the circumstances were right, and maybe now they finally are. Mick Fleetwood added to the moment with a short video of himself listening to the Buckingham Nicks album, captioned simply, "Magic then, magic now," a quiet but powerful nod from the man who brought them into Fleetwood Mac in the first place, and maybe a hint that even after everything, that magic still matters. Christine McVie's passing in 2022 seemed to slam the door shut on any kind of Fleetwood Mac reunion, but now it feels like something is stirring. No one's using the word reunion, and there's been no official announcement, but for the first time in years, these posts suggest that Stevie and Lindsey might be on the same page again, or at the very least, willing to be in the same story. It's still unclear if there will be any new music or any performances, but when the most famously fractured duo in rock history starts finishing each other's sentences, even in lyric form, it's worth paying attention. And fans are. because Fleetwood Mac has always been fueled by chaos, heartbreak, and the kind of friction that somehow creates magic. And now, 5 decades later, the album that began that story is finally being heard the way it should have all along. We will, of course, keep you updated on any further developments with Fleetwood Mac. Please hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. We thank you for watching Rock Buzz.